Welcome to episode 1 of Bookmas. Today we are talking all about my No Spice Christmas book recommendations and my personal No Spice holiday TBR. This time of year is one of my favorite reading times, and there are so many great No Spice Christmas and holiday books out there. So first, let's chat about some of the ones that I have read and would recommend. First up, we have Christmas with a Crank by Courtney Walsh. This was her new release that came out last year. She actually has a new Christmas book out for this year, which we'll get to when we get to my TBR. This one is a childhood friends to lovers story. So Liam and Olive were like best friends until they were 12, and then she moved away. And now, like 20 years later, they reconnect when his family is selling their Christmas tree farm and she is enlisted to like help with some different things. So like a childhood friends to lovers second chance at a Christmas tree farm with like Courtney Walsh's writing. It's so good. I absolutely loved this. I actually filmed a reading vlog when I read this last Christmas season, so I will link that if you want to see more of my like in-depth thoughts as I was reading it. But I would highly recommend this. I just absolutely loved it, and I gave it 5 stars. Like, I just really connected, I feel like, with these characters, not only as like a feel-good, fun Christmas tree farm holiday romance, but I really, really loved this story. And there's no spice and no language as well. Another Christmas favorite is The Bridge by Karen Kingsbury. I have reread this and rewatched the movies that go with this, the Hallmark movies, so many times. I absolutely love it. So this story follows Molly and Ryan, who meet in college through this local bookstore called The Bridge, and the owners are Charlie and Donna. So it kind of follows both of these couples' stories. And Molly and Ryan, of course, things kind of fall apart as they often do in second chance romances. And they end up connecting years later when this beloved bookstore, The Bridge, gets flooded in the Nashville 100-year flood. And that kind of brings the whole community together. And then there's the second chance romance aspect I was talking about. They're trying to save this beloved bookstore. Ryan is a musician, so there's also some of that Nashville flair, I feel like, in it. And this is just such a fun read. It's so cozy, and I grew up outside of Nashville, so I just feel like it's a little bit like nostalgic and homey for me as well. Karen Kingsbury also writes like faith-based romance and fiction, so there's some of that in here as well. No spice, no language, or anything like that. And this is just so wholesome and perfect if you're looking for a little bit more of an emotional but still like happy, feel-good Christmas read. Then we also have The Holiday Swap by Maggie Knox. This is one I read a couple of years ago now, and it gives a little bit of like Parent Trap vibes. So there's 2 main characters, they're twins, and they decide to switch places after one of them, who works on like a baking show set in LA, she like passes out, hits her head, and loses her ability to taste and smell. Bizarre, but that's what happens. And so she and her twin switch places so that she can like do the job. And so you're kind of following both of their romances in the story. One of them in like LA on a big like film set, more like city life, and then the other twin lives in like their small mountain hometown, very cozy, runs a bakery kind of thing. This was just like a Hallmark movie in a book, like a little Christmas hug. It was just so cozy and fun. Nothing crazy, but I really enjoyed picking this up. Just a very easy holiday read. No spice. I can't remember if there was any language in this one. There might have been a little. The last recommendation I have is the Christmas Kisses and Cookie Crumbs series. This is all on Kindle Unlimited. It's a collection of short stories that are all just set around the holidays with different tropes written by different authors, but just a really good, easy thing to pick up if you want to be able to like read something quickly, or in between, you're just wanting something easy and quick to pick up. I read a lot of these like right around Christmas when we were traveling and with family, and I didn't know if I would have time to like follow a whole book or finish it before the holidays. I just picked up a few of these, and I thought that they were really fun to just squeeze in and sprinkle into your TBR. Before we get into my personal Christmas TBR, I wanted to share my website with you guys because I think it will be so useful for you guys to build your No Spice Christmas TBR. It's called nospicebooks.com, and I've worked really hard the last couple weeks to stock it with lots of Christmas reads, so hopefully you can go on there and find whatever your favorite trope is or your favorite author and build a really great Christmas TBR. Now on to my Christmas TBR, and I use TBR loosely because I know I'm not going to get to all of these books, but these are the ones that I have downloaded from Kindle Unlimited or borrowed from Libby or stuff like that that I am going to be reaching for and picking from as I am reading these next few weeks towards Christmas. And I am also filming a Christmas reading vlog for Bookmas too that will be one of the future videos reading some of these books, so make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss that as well. First up, we have Season Schemings and Holiday Hostilities by Katie Bailey. These are the first two books in her Cyclones Christmas series. The first one, I believe, is a marriage of convenience hockey romance, and the second one is an enemies to lovers hockey romance. Neither of these have spice, which none of the books on this TBR have spice, but these do have language. Then I also would love to read Snowed Under and Baggage Claim by Juliana Smith. These are both books in her Aspen Peak series. The first one is where she fake dates the guy she met on the airplane. I think they strike up a conversation and she kind of shares her holiday predicament and they make this fake dating arrangement. And then the second one is also fake dating, but I think maybe more of a fake marriage of convenience kind of situation where they both need a fake relationship for different reasons. And both of these are also set at and kind of centered around a ski lodge resort kind of thing out west, I believe, which just feels like a very cozy, perfect setting for a holiday romance. Next, we have My Merry Mistake by Courtney Walsh. I told you we would get to her new Christmas release. This is the third book in her Holidays with Heart series, which follows the third sister. Her name is Raya. And like the first two, this one is a hockey romance. And in this one, I think Raya is required to take a month off of work to rest, which she's kind of a workaholic, a little bit more stressed and uptight. And Courtney Walsh always does a really great job of weaving in lessons and commentary into her stories. And I think that especially around the holidays, reading about rest and slowing down and paying attention to what truly matters is going to be really important. And also, Courtney Walsh's books have no language and no spice, if I didn't mention that earlier. And if I have time to get to a third Courtney Walsh book this year, I would love to read Across Country Christmas. This is the first book in her road trip romance series. And this one is a childhood crush, brother's best friend road trip romance around the holidays. And those are just some of my favorite things, and I feel like I will really love this, so I would love to get to it if I have time. Then next we have the book that I'm actually going to start tonight, and that is The Most Wonderful Crime of the Year by Allie Carter. This was the book of Christmas last year. I think it was actually a December book of the month pick. I just didn't get to it, and so this year I really want to pick it up. This one does not have spice, it does have language, and it's kind of described as a Knives Out rivals to lovers Christmas rom-com, but also has suspense and mystery. So I think basically the premise is these two main characters get a mysterious invite to this English estate where they show up for this Christmas party, and then everything just kind of goes wrong, and that's when the mystery happens and everything. And normally I'm not a big mystery suspense reader. I just can't handle a lot of it, but I feel like this will be the right dose for me. And speaking of a little bit of a more adventure-filled rom-com, I would love to read Silent Heist by Janessa Faith. This is an adventure rom-com inspired by Home Alone. In this one, he's a professional thief, and he's hired to steal this painting, but the problem is that it's being guarded by the woman he used to love and the little girl that she nannies. So I think this is a second chance, but there's action and adventure kind of situation, and I just feel like this will be a really fun one, along with The Most Wonderful Crime of the Year, to just kind of mix it up, because otherwise I tend to mostly just read cheesy rom-coms during Christmas, which is what I love. There's nothing wrong with that, but I think these will be a good mix-up to kind of sprinkle throughout the next month or so. Then kind of a last-minute addition to my TBR, because when I was adding this book actually to nospicebooks.com, I was like, wait, those are my favorite tropes. I have to read that one, and that is The Shift Between Us by India Tungate. This is a fake dating friends to lovers Christmas story, which those two tropes together is one of my favorite combinations, and that's why I was like, I have to read this because it's my favorite tropes at Christmas. And there's also faith elements, no spice, no language. So I just feel like this has a lot of the makings to be a book that I really love. Okay, and then rounding out this list, first I have a series that I kind of have on my radar if I want to pull from it, and that is the Christmas Escape series. This is 7 books by 7 different authors, and I've just heard really good things, so this one's definitely on my list. And then I have 3 novellas. First is The Holoduel by Haley Gardner. This is the prequel to her Falling in Franklin series. And this is a second chance baking rivals to lovers story, and it's set in Nashville. Then I would also love to read One Little Chance by Rebecca Jo Jackson. This one is a second chance childhood sweethearts kind of story. And this one I think is actually set from Christmastime to around New Year's Eve. So I feel like this could be a fun one to pick up after the holidays when I'm still kind of in the Christmas mood, but also getting ready for the new year. And then lastly, we have How to Kiss on Christmas Morning by Jenny Proctor. This is her new Christmas novella that's kind of a crossover between the Appy series and her How to Kiss a Hawthorne Brothers series, which I think is just so fun that she is melding her worlds together. But I love Jenny Proctor's writing, so I would love to get to this one as well. And those are my No Spice Christmas book recommendations and my TBR for 2025. Don't forget to subscribe for all the future episodes coming of Bookmas. And if you're looking for some more Christmas No Spice book recommendations, first, I would highly recommend checking out nospicebooks.com. And second, you can go back and watch my TBR video from last year. I included tons of books in this video, so I'm sure you'll find something that interests you. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Take care, friends.